Samoa will be watching some ungodly hour of the morning, and they put some
forwards. You've got Afamasaga, the one new face, Pessamino, and they wore it in the semi-final against
Sevens is going to get a great finale here at the Emirates Dubai Sevens. Ben Gollings, one of the great men of the rugby scene, to kick off.
The whistle is blown. The honour of refereeing is Stuart Berry. England distinctive in those jerseys. And yes, all of you around the world listening in, and live too in North America, which is a big interested new audience that we have. So hold your horses, hold your hats, as Samoa, so physical, so strong. 10 minutes each way, remember, grueling times. And it's the first possession, and possession is 9/10 of the law, as you all know. Otto it is who feeds it out. And here, the run of a man who's been so influential this and last season, Afai Ioana. The pick-up, though, as the ball goes loose. Ben Gollings, shrewd, the Sevens rugby brain of all. And here, the dancing feet of the young sprinters, like Dan Caprice there, capricious in his play, the power of Cracknell. Here again, Dan Norton, and they go wide. This is the man who upset New Zealand, Lindsay Haig. The young man, Oliver Lindsay Haig, has got the pace as well to get the opening try. 2 against New Zealand, the opening score for this 20-year-old product of Millfield School. Oliver Lindsay Haig, the one man on the field in this England lineup who didn't play in the Commonwealth Games. And how has he slotted in?
Well, it was a beautiful try, and I just think the one we saw here, the first example where speed of England is going to beat speed of Samoa. He made a kind of a gesture with his hand. I wonder if he was signaling for someone to perhaps be on the alert for an in-pass to take it closer to the posts. But if they have more speed in the outfield running, England could score more in this game. A great start for Oliver Lindsay Haig.
I think you've hit it on the nail, Keith, because England can look to him, they can look to Caprice, they can look to Norton for sheer pace, real gas, whereas Samoa have to rely principally on Mikaele Pessamino.
And he's the guy I've yet to see run at full clip in this tournament. Been very good, very efficient, but not quite the sharp man that won him the award of the International Rugby Player of the Year for last season.
Well, there's a man who really has become a mainstay of England. Came from, you know, nowhere really into Ben Ryan's squad, James Rodwell, and he has been absolutely outstanding.
Ben Gollings, we shouldn't write him off as a non-sprinter either, because he had a runaway and beautiful start against New Zealand in the semi-final. But here we can see now what these Samoans can do. Trevor Annis, you see that theirs is more of a powerhouse approach. The powerful build that they bring to the game. And Samaika Makaele, good clearance pass now. They bring it out wide. There's Pessamino for the first time. No, he's playing it in the centre rather than out on the wing when this is a lovely run by Ionu. He gives it to Pessamino. It tumbles behind him. It's picked up by Norton. Here's trouble if it can be cleared to the open country. Lindsay Haig again. He's got the big man Rodwell with him, who works hard to keep it clear for the presentation. That's beautiful play for England. Here is Chris Cracknell.
Well, he was a player who came of age in this England squad. Another one who really came from, well, he was a Worcester member and then brought into the Sevens game. But there's a penalty given by Berry in favour of Samoa. They come up the middle. They like the direct route, and Fa'atua Otto has 2 men held by England in defence. Pessamino hasn't yet shown that real spark that we saw throughout last season when he scored 56 tries. But here now is Mikaele, and these big forwards of Samoa have pace, not flat-out acceleration like some of the real sprinters, but they are quick too, and Simaika immediately gets Samoa back on terms with the conversion that could give them the lead. 4 minutes played.
Well, we have the contrast laid out in front of you for this final, which is 10 minutes each way, by the way. We have the speed of England against the power of the Samoans. They like to go with this set of players up the middle of the field. I mean, there's an old rather coarse rugby term about it being up the guts, but this is up the guts, playing up the middle of the field, driving hard. This guy's not a speedster, but with the hard work he made in receiving the pass, he's in for another try, and he scored a lot. The farmer from the country areas of Samoa.
Well, We've all talked so much about the brilliant finishing of Michele Pessamino, but so many of Samoan tries come amongst their 1, 2, 3, their 3 forwards, Michele, Fa'asaliva, Trevor Annis. We saw it in the semis, but England come on the swift counter now, and the tackle comes in from Otto, another of the great Samoan strengths. Referee says England advantage, none accrues, and it's actually going to be a full penalty. And England will try and slow it down a bit. Oliver Lindsay Haig, calm head on young shoulders, and the contact already producing the bruises. Here's Lindsay Haig, still just 20, in a more experienced side along with him. Ben Gollings, there's experience for you, the world's top point scorer all time in the Sevens World Series. Well, he hasn't been overextended, has he, Oliver Lindsay? He looks so sharp. Damoa goes back. Isaiah Damu, the private in the British Army. There's a Royal Marine on the bench in Greg Barden. Rodwell now goes wide. A little dance from Chris Cracknell takes out 2 men, but he had to release. He was held, he was tackled. Pessamino, well, what's the referee going to do?
I think the referee got in the way there, and he's going to restart it from that point. It wasn't a great tap kick by Samoa there, and it just looped over the top of the referee, but squirrely. But now they're underway again with a more organised tap, which means though that England are organised in defence. And once again it's Fa'atono Otto. Now gives it away to Afa Masanga. Bursting play here from Afa Iono. Otto again, it's going to swing to the left. Well, there's 2 to the left and 2 to the right. He's giving it to Pessamino. You see Pessamino passes and jogs. He's not quite having a go. Now we'll see him stretch out. But he was close to the touchline and covered, and it's across the sideline. 3 minutes to play. Samoa 7, England 5.
I think you're right. There's something not quite right, and I knew he was slightly injured while he was on the Samoan 15-a-side tour, and I saw him down in Gloucester playing against Combined Services, and he was not his old sharp, full pelt self, and I think it's carried over into this tournament. And Gollings, again, the calming influence, the man who's so astute in tactical ways, puts the ball into touch and settles it down, and England will have the throw-in. It was their penalty.
And so we see a bit more of this kind of play in the final. There's a long way to go. I mean, you might look at it and quickly say it's only 10 minutes each way, but these guys have mind and muscle screaming out for a rest, so you can have these little gaps. But here comes Samoa.
Fa'asaliva it is, and the overlap, his fellow prop is Trevor Annis. And that is just characteristic of Samoa's triumph of last season. They have taken the lead. The switch between the forwards, they're so direct and they are fast with it. Not, as I said, 100-meter sprinters, but acceleration, power and support play exemplified here.
Number 3 and number 1 in combination at the end. The previous try was number 2, Samaika Maka'ele, who got it and looped around. These are the big munters of the Samoan team. Look at the build of these guys. They're built like a block of flats when you see them all line up, and this is a great performance by Samoa. They've kept the speedsters away from the ball on the other side of their opponents, and they've played it up the middle themselves, and that's a lovely try. Not pretty, perhaps, not on a postcard, but a beautiful try for Samoa's Alafoti Fa'asaliva.
They all count the same, and Samoa lead by 9 points here. A minute and a little bit to go to the half, but here is Soa Ndamu, such a key figure in recent times with England. Remember, England weren't even in the final last season, but Pessamino gets the pickup. How quick is he now? Rodwell half blocks him. Covering across there is Dan Norton. And Pessamino was slightly blocked, and obviously Rodwell was not infringing. The referee was looking closely, and England try and attack from their own 22. The offload from Lindsay Haig. England still looking pretty cool, pretty calm, despite the deficit. Oh, beautifully done. Absolutely superb. And this man really is making a mark and a half on this tournament and on England's performance. Oliver Lindsay Haig, the hero of the 2 tries in the semi, and here he is again in the final to keep England right in touch.
He's playing a beautiful game, Oliver Lindsay-Hagen. Look at this for the sidestep. Whack off the foot and just completely cuts inside Afa Iono, who is so strong in defence. That's wonderful skill by Oliver Lindsay-Hagen, and he ran away to score, and the try was converted, and it's now 14-12, and we've reached halfway in this brilliant and epic final, which has produced so much drama already.
26 points between them and only 2 the difference. And do you not